Hello everyone, this is Professor Nasim and welcome to the Principles of Microeconomics class. It is ECON 2302, that's the course code. So today we're going to cover lecture 0 in this video lecture, and in this week we're going to go over the syllabus, we're going to go over the class rules, and we're going to go a little bit over what economics is all about, assuming you guys don't have any idea about economics. Okay. And then we're also going to talk about how you can access the book, and how many homeworks you will have, how many midterms you will have, and exams you have, and all that. Okay, so this is a very helpful class. It will give you instructions or guidelines for the rest of your semester, and you can use this video lecture to help you guide your and meet your time deadlines and targets. Okay, so moving on, class information. This is a 100% online class. We do not meet face to face, so this is a 100% online class. So if there are any questions, any concern, if you don't understand anything, or you think there's some issues with your grade, email me as soon as possible. There is the concern. I will try to respond to you within 24 hours, but email me right away. Okay, this class begins on August 24th and then ends on December 10th. That is the final day of this class, but we will probably have the exam on that class of midterm 3. And then the certification date is September 5th, and the official drop date is November 12th. Okay, so that's basically the last day to drop this class. If you think you're not doing well in this class, or if you think it's going to affect your overall GPA, then November 12th is the last day to drop this class, and you can send me the form that I need to sign and I can go ahead and do it. Okay, introduction about the professor. So about myself, I did upload a profile about myself on eCampus, so you can go and check on that and learn about my background, my qualifications, what I'm currently doing, and all that. Okay, but just briefly, I'm originally from Bangladesh, and I completed my master's in finance from UT Dallas. Then I'm also currently pursuing my PhD in public policy and economy at UT Dallas. Basically, I'm done with all my classes. I'm just left with my research work. I'm also working as a senior financial analyst at Enterprise America. It is a financial services firm in Dallas. If you guys are interested in a career in finance, you can always reach out to me for any type of advice. But that's it. That's kind of a background about me. And if you want to know more details, you can email me, or you can check the profile I uploaded on eCampus. And at the bottom of the slide, we have the email. Again, anytime, any concern, feel free to reach out to me in the email. My objective is not to make your life hard. Okay, any type of concern, I will try my best to solve that. So send me an email. And also in an online class, it is very helpful if you keep in touch with the professor. That helps to show that you're involved in the class, and it helps me to understand also. So the required book for this class is the Macroeconomics Understanding Our Material World, 4th edition. ISBN number is given. This book is available on your bookstore in Richland. But also, if you see the email that I sent out, I did send an instruction as in how you can access this book, like how you can pay and access this book online. Okay, so there's instructions in the email. I also uploaded the instructions on eCampus for your simplicity. But basically, since this is an online class and since the pandemic is going on right now, it probably makes more sense to get the book online. Okay, but honestly, I'm going to tell you, if you follow my video lectures, which I'm going to send out every week, if you follow my video lectures that are uploaded on YouTube and you follow them, you follow the examples that I'm doing in the video lectures, you go over my PowerPoint slides, you will be fine and you will do well in your exam, in your homework, and in your discussion board assignments. Book, yeah, definitely, if there are certain things you're not sure about, you want to know more about, or it can be a supporting information, it can provide supporting information, so that way it's helpful, but it is not absolutely required for my class. Okay, one more thing is webcom. I also attached in your email, you will see I attached a PDF file that shows how you can access webcom. Again, in this class, webcom is not mandatory. Okay, as I give you my homeworks, I will send you out the homeworks, I will send you out the exams online, but the webcam is there for you to practice after at the end of each chapter. Okay, so it's not mandatory, but it is there. You can go ahead and access it and set it up for yourself just for practice purposes. The syllabus is posted on eCampus. The syllabus is like a guidebook for this class. It has all the information you need, and I'm going to go over it right now, but it's very, very important you look at the syllabus and check it periodically so that you do not miss any deadline, you know what's going on in the class and everything. Okay, and again, if there are any questions, you can always reach out to me. So let me go over the syllabus quickly. So on the first page, again, this is the principles of microeconomics class. You have my contact information, my name, my phone number, my email address. Now again, this is an online class, so online correspondence or econ correspondence makes more sense, but if it's absolutely necessary to meet me, you can do so by making an appointment. Then the course information. It's a 3-hour course, 3 credit hours. Starts today, August 24th, and ends on December 10th. Certification date is on September 5th, and last day to withdraw is November 12th. Then there is the book, what is the book is what the book is about, and basically how you can access it, what is the ISBN number. Then there are certain verbiages, just normal template, what are the objectives of the course, what are the objectives of the Texas core objectives, and all those things. Okay, then in page 3, if you look at this gives you how you will be graded. So there will be 5 homework assignments, and each of these homework assignments will be 4% each. So if you miss one, you miss 4% of your total grade. So it's very important you submit your homeworks on time, and total homework is 20% of your grades. Midterm 1, midterm 2, and midterm 3, all these will carry 25% of your grade each. Okay, and then there will be one discussion board. Since there is no participation grade, this is not a face-to-face class. Only way to see that you are actively participating in the class is through the discussion board, which is 5% of your grade. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about. First, the discussion board is basically I will post an economic topic on eCampus, like it will be a discussion topic, and then you guys have to make a comment. It has to be at least 2 paragraphs. Okay, it cannot be just yes professor I agree with you, or no professor I do not agree. You have to justify your answer, you have to justify your point of view, and explain using your knowledge of this class about the topic. Okay, and then in addition to your post, you also have to make 2 comments to your classmates post. Okay, and again, those comments cannot be just yes I agree with you Fred, or yes I agree with you Tom. You have to explain, you have to justify your answers. If you just say agree or do not agree, I will not give you any credit. Okay, now, as far as the midterms or the exams are concerned, they are not cumulative. Okay, so midterm 3 is not cumulative. It does not include everything in the class. It will cover the materials that we cover after midterm 2. Okay, again, midterm 2 is also not cumulative. It will cover the materials that we cover after material 1. Okay, next class we have the final grade. Between 89.5 to 100%, you will get an A. 79.5 to 89.49, you will get a B. 69.5 to 79.49 is C, and so on. Okay, and sometimes I curve the exams on how the overall class is doing, and based on that I curve the exam, so that will also help you to boost your grade. Now, it's very important you submit your homework and discussion boards on time. Okay, if I say your homework is due on August 24th, that means by 11:59 p.m. you have to submit it. Now, you will be given instructions on how to submit it. Sometimes you have to upload it in a Google Drive that I will provide you with, or sometimes you have to email it to me, but that is the timeline. There is no leeway in terms of the deadline. Okay, if you have any issues, let me know in advance, please. In that case, I will try to accommodate. But if you let me know on the day of the assignment or after the assignment, I will not accept that, and I'm telling you upfront on that. Okay, then you have information about midterms. Again, these are 25% each. They are not cumulative, and they will be all multiple choice questions. Okay, so that's a good thing. There's no broad questions. Answer all multiple choice questions, but there will be some calculations within those multiple choice questions, so you will need a calculator. But I will as the exams come closer, I will send out more instructions and a review that will help you to prepare for the exam. And then here we have a lot of information about the discussion board. Basically whatever I just said, but you can read it here. Again, when you go and post on discussion board, you will see the same things there. So make sure you read these things. Okay, late work, I will not take any makeup test, no makeup homeworks. You have to let me know in advance if there is any issue, and then I can make an exception, but on the day or after I will not. Then again, this normal verbiage, but when we go to page 7 and 8, that's very important. Page 7 basically gives the weekly schedule, okay, of what we are going to do every week from today to December 10th. So let's say August 24th to August 28th, which is this week, we are going to do the syllabus overview, class rule, and cover lecture 0. Okay, the next class we will cover, next week we will cover lecture 1. Then in the week 3, which is September 7 to September 11, we will cover lecture 2, and we will assign homework 1, and that is also due on week 3. Okay, so this is a very good table that will help you to keep on track of the deadlines and everything. Okay, and finally, if you go to page 8, which is very, very important, because it gives you, like, for all the homeworks, what are the assigned dates. That's the assigned dates are the date when I will be emailing the homeworks. Okay, and due dates are the dates by 11:59 p.m. on these dates. You have to email me the homeworks to me, so I can grade and upload the exams. But if there is any issues, you will let me know in advance, but if you let me know afterwards, I will not accept it. It also gives you the dates of your midterm 1, midterm 2, and midterm 3. Very important. You have to know when the exams are coming. I will send out reminders with reviews, but you must know. And then also the due date for discussion board, which is October 23rd. Okay, and then you have instructions on how you can access the webcam and everything, but again, I sent out separate instructions on how you can do so, and that takes care of the syllabus. Okay, so that's pretty much the syllabus. Then we move on. Attendance and participation is very important. Discussion board is a way to do that. Then if there's any religious holiday, let me know in advance. Don't tell me on the day of the class. Okay, now I will spend some time talking about economics. I will assume that none of you have any knowledge about economics, so based on that, I will discuss a couple of things about economics in this class, and just from next week we will move on with full speed and discuss and get into more details on the subjects. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of idea about economics and all. Next slide. Today we just wanted to cover a little bit about economics, since this is the first economics class for most of you. I will assume that none of you knew what economics means, so I will give you a brief introduction about the subject matter. So basically what economics means is, it means the distribution. It is basically the study of how we distribute the resources, or how we allocate the resources. So that is the main thing, is economics. Okay, so what are resources? We are going to learn about this in chapter 2, but basically resources are, it can be like steel is a resource. Aluminium, that's a resource. Labor, workers working in a factory, that's a resource. So there are many types of resources. Machine is a resource, right? So, but we're going to learn in details more later on. But the reality is that these resources, whether you talk about steel, whether you talk about workers who are skilled in, let's say, stitching clothes, or whether you talk about machines, all these resources are limited in quantity, right? We don't have infinite number of resources in the world. These resources are limited. On the other hand, we as individuals, our wants are unlimited, right? We pretty much want everything. We want a car, we want a house, we want nice furniture, we want a nice TV. If we have a car, we want another car. If we have a house, we want another house. Our wants, so in reality, our wants are infinite, but the resources needed to make that house, or the resources needed to make the car, those resources are limited in quantity. Okay, so economics is the study that helps to solve this gap between infinite wants and finite or limited resources. It is the study that helps us to distribute the resources in such a way so we can make the best choices, and that we ultimately get the maximum amount of satisfaction. Okay, so economics formally is basically studies the economic, political and social elements in our system, and how in this economic system the resources are allocated. So who gets what, how much I am getting in the economy, how much you are getting in the economy, how much Tom is getting in the economy. So that's what economics is all about. Okay, it is the study of choices, methods and systems used by economies and societies to allocate and distribute scarce resources. So since the resources are scarce, scarce means limited in quantity, we have to make choices, right? We cannot get everything. Let's say we want to eat, we have many different choices, right? To eat for lunch, we can eat Chinese food, we can eat pizza, we can eat pasta, or we can eat a burger, right? But I only have $10 in my hand, so I have that limited resource, limited capital with me, so I can only choose any one of them. So I will probably choose the one that will give me the most satisfaction out of pizza, pasta, Chinese food and burger. Let's say I really like Chinese food and I'm craving for Chinese food, so probably with that $10 I will buy Chinese food that will give me maximum satisfaction. But if that $10 was probably given to you, you would have probably bought a pizza, because your satisfaction will be maximized if you eat pizza. So that varies from person to person how they will make the choice, but the ultimate goal of making a choice is to maximize our satisfaction. Okay, so basically this economics, this study of economics will help us to distribute these resources in a very efficient manner, right? In a way so that we can make the best choices. Okay, so let's say we have $50 to spend, and you have to choose between 2 meals per day, or shoe, or an Uber ride, or a notepad, or a dart pass, or a watch. So maybe for me it is a watch, maybe for you it is a pen, because you're starting the class. Maybe for Rick it's shoe, because he probably plays a lot of sports, so he needs shoe. So different people will use the resources in different way, but they will try to use it in the best possible way so that it maximizes their own satisfaction. And economics, when we study economics, it helps us to make that correct choice. It helps us to make the choice that is best for us, that will maximize our satisfaction. Okay, so different individuals will have different choices, as I said, to allocate the resources, and this will give them maximum satisfaction. Now in economics, this satisfaction is also known as utility. Okay, so the ultimate goal for everyone is to make the choice that will give the maximum satisfaction, or in economic terms, the maximum utility. Okay, so that is what economics main objective is. You allocate your resources in such a way so you can make the best possible choices which will give you the maximum satisfaction or utility. Now this applies, say the same thing applies for groups or economies. You know, when we are talking about the city as a whole, when we are talking about the state as a whole, how we are going to allocate the resources in the state of Texas, what is good for the state of Texas, and what are the choices that we need to make in the state of Texas so that we experience growth. So these are all categorized under the study of economics. Okay, so specifically economics is the study of the choices, methods and systems used by economies and societies to allocate scarce or limited resources in the best possible way, and the ultimate goal is to maximize utility. So economics basically helps us to make educated choices, improve our choices, and use different methods to allocate the resources. Now economics can be divided into two areas. Okay, one is called the microeconomics and one is called the macroeconomics. Now this class is all about macroeconomics. Okay, there's another class which you probably will have to take, and I also teach that class. It's called the microeconomics. Okay, so macroeconomics is basically the study of the overall allocation of resources within a society. It is basically at a group level. Okay, when the resources are allocated at the group level, then we are talking about macroeconomics. So if we are talking about the US economy, you know, how are we allocating resources for the US economy, or how are we allocating the resources for the Texas economy, or how are we allocating resources for Dallas economy. So if we are talking about the country level, if we are talking about the state level, or if we are talking about the city level, these are examples of macroeconomics. Okay, it looks at the scenario at the aggregate level, at the group level. Some of the macroeconomic terms that we're going to learn in this class are, economic growth, inflation, unemployment, government expenditure, total investment. So these are all items that are categorized under macroeconomics, and these are items that are related at the aggregate level, to groups. Now, the other type of study is called the microeconomics. Basically, it is the study of how you allocate the resources from a smaller perspective, from an individual perspective. Okay, how you will allocate the resources as a consumer. So when we go to Walmart, how are we going to make the choices? How are we going to allocate our resources? So as an individual, as a consumer basis, or how you will make a choice as a business. Let's say you have a auto dealership business, or let's say you have a car business. How are you going to allocate resources so that will maximize your utility and you will be able to make the maximum profit? So those type of things are classified under microeconomics. So these microeconomics is for smaller units. It's for individuals, or individual businesses. Okay, whereas macroeconomics is all about groups, economy, state economy, city or county levels. These are macroeconomics. Okay, now both branches of economics seeks to measure and analyze economic efficiency. So economic efficiency, what does that mean? Is when we are able to maximize our satisfaction, then we have economic efficiency. Okay, so when we make a choice that maximizes our satisfaction, that will cause economic efficiency, and we are going to learn about this later in our next chapters. But right now, just the main focus is to maximize satisfaction, which in turn will give us economic efficiency. Okay, so economists or social scientists use critical reasoning to measure the achievement of economic efficiency. Economic efficiency is achieved or maximized when most utility is obtained for most people. So just what I said, from the macro perspective, let's say in a city, if the utility is maximized for most of the people of the city, then economic efficiency is achieved. Okay, so maximizing the utility or satisfaction will create economic efficiency. So therefore, economists analyze the different types of choices, methods and systems, and finds out the combination of choices that will produce the maximum utility for most people, which in turn will lead to economic efficiency. Basically, this last line summarizes everything with what we just said, in one single sentence. So that's all. I don't want to overwhelm you today because this is your first class. I just wanted to give you a brief introduction of what economics is and what are the two branches of economics, macroeconomics and microeconomics relate to, what are scarce resources, and why we want to make choices, because resources are scarce, and our ultimate goal is to maximize utility, and if that happens, we have economic efficiency. That's the gist of what I just talked about today. So in our next lecture, we will start from talking about in details about chapter 1 and go on from there. But this is just the beginning. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, you will hear back from me soon again. You guys have a good day. Thank you.